What's up, peeps? It's your boy CJ, and today we're gonna review something slightly different, and that's the Jacob and James ring watch. Let's get it. So here it is, the Jacob James ring watch. And as tradition on this channel, let's get some housekeeping out of the way and talk specs. So the case size is 11 millimeters. We're gonna get a case thickness here of 6 millimeters, a lug to lug of 16 millimeters. We have an adjustable 60 millimeter clasp or ring with the entire bracelet there, and then you got 30 meters water resistance, a faceted crystal as you can tell, and then we also feature a Swiss Ronda quartz movement inside with a 3-year battery life. All right, let's look at this a little close up. So let's talk wearability. As you can see here, the watch fits perfectly on my finger. I never thought I'd say this on this channel, but it fits quite snug. It's a nice comfortable fit, and the fact that the watch actually features 4 holes of micro adjust, that actually is a big help for the perfect fit for pretty much any finger. I got a little finger check here. Let's see how this looks. So as you can see, pretty nice and snug on my ring finger here. I like the way it actually looks. I feel it complements any wristwatch that you have on for the day, especially if you're rocking something with a bracelet. So pretty nice and neat actually. Okay, so when it comes to the watch itself, I mean, this is clearly made for something a little different. It's a unisex watch, and while being unisex, I would say for myself personally, it has a little more feminine touches, especially with that faceted crystal and that little diamond or faux diamond inside the crystal there as well. I think it's a nice looking watch though overall, and I'm surprised to see that the watch is functional. The little crown here has some nice action, as you can see. It's a bit difficult with the gloves, but then the nice addition also is the actual texture of the dial. This is something I didn't expect, so I don't know if you can tell there, but it looks almost matte and flat, but then at the right touch of light there's a little bit of texture on that dial, which I like. So the color is really nice. Speaking of color, the watch features 3 colorways. I'll put it on the screen here. So we got the red, the blue, and the black. Clearly the black would be the most favorite, I believe. Build quality, I'm pleasantly surprised. I really felt like this would have been cheap, or at least that was my expectations, but when it comes to this actual bracelet, the articulation is pretty much on point. There are some stiff edges, as you can see there, but majority when it comes to the comfort on your actual finger is pretty spot on. Finish wise, everything is highly polished here, but I do find that the watch is made pretty well with the level of polish. Some parts are highly polished, some are less than, as you can see there with the actual bezel itself, and I feel like it creates a little bit more depth to the actual watch build. You got a cyan clasp there, which is pretty nice, and like I said, 4 holes of micro adjust. The case back is also screwed on, which is really unexpected. Sterile of course, but really nice to see those little screws. Again, comfort wise, spot on for this watch, and while clearly a novelty, I would say that this would make a perfect gift. I've been wearing this watch for the past week and a half now, and I gotta say it's been really cool actually. I've got quite a few compliments and a few questions about it, and I was pleasantly surprised at people's reactions, especially when they found out that it was a real functioning watch. So I would say it's a pretty home run. The only negatives I would point out is, again, although it's a unisex watch, I feel like it leans more to the feminine side with the crystal as well as the faux diamond on the dial. So I'd like to see something slightly more plain Jane, as we would say, and a version 2 would be really called for, I believe, with this watch. I also think that the hands should be slightly smaller. take in that the watch is so small on its own already. The actual hands are quite large for that dial, so smaller hands or thinner hands would have made for a nice addition. But overall, a really cool little touch to the hobby. Something I remember seeing in the early 90s, so it was nice to sort of bring back a bit of my childhood with this one. So really like it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. All right, man, thanks for joining. See you in the next video. Well, there it is, the Jacob and James ring watch. Clearly a bit of a novelty, but at the most I would say it's a gift that we keep on giving, especially for someone who's into watches or someone who's looking for something different when it comes to their jewelry or their personal touch. I really like what they've done with using materials that really are akin to what we're used to when it comes to wristwatches. Those links is a very big highlight, as well as the addition of the clasp. Clearly a bit more on the feminine side, but with a version 2, I'm sure there's something to look forward to with this brand, so really looking forward to that. Make sure to leave your comments down below of what you think of ring watches in general, and anything and all things regarding this watch.